first day back. I'm gonna fuck with him a little bit. This thing right here. When as soon as he starts it. Hey, it's leaking something up here though.
What?
I don't fucking know.
Looks like fucking.
Smells like ass.
Looks like antifreeze.
What is it?
Water?
Water or something. Well, that was a fucking fail, by the way.
Yeah, I could barely hear it.
Damn it.
I heard it.
Oh, did you?
It's just nothing different than what I hear all the time.
Where is that? Oh, it's coming out of the exhaust. I think that's just some
Condensation.
Some moisture, yeah.
Alright.
I could walk 1,000 miles to see you smile. I won't, so take your bet off of me. I'm gonna take my vows tonight. Sometimes I wish I had left to get you off my back. Bad luck, damn if we do, damn if we don't. So why don't you kiss me inside of love, until I'm blue in the face. We run it till we can't know. I will do whatever it takes to put you back in your place. And don't make no mistake, I'll behave on one condition. Make me whole again, so I can bless you in abundance of sin. Talk to me, my dear. You could kiss me now, we could work this shit out. It's about us. Walk with me, my dear. We could figure it out together, you and me now. Is you down? Cause I could walk 1,000 miles to see you smile. I won't, so take your bet off of me. I'm gonna take my vows tonight. Sometimes I wish I had left to get you off my back. Bad luck, damn if we do, damn if we don't. So why don't you kiss me inside of love, until I'm blue in the face. We run it till we can't no more.
What is up, and welcome back to the Mr. Eazy YouTube channel, everybody. Like I told you before, I got to do a video about updates I did on the truck. So I've had a lot of crunching to do. I've had about a month and a half of work to do in about 2 weeks of time. So I haven't been carrying the camera. I've been just busting butt on this thing. Stuart has come over several times. Mason has even come over a couple times and helped me out on this truck. And I am now one to say we are like 98.2% completed on this truck. So there are a couple more things I still have to do, but it's little minute things. And one of those things is finish burping the water system on it. So I pretty much have it done, but I just need to finish it a little bit better. So the big things that have changed on the truck, as you guys have already seen in previous videos, is my buddy Matt Funkhauser and his crew over at Funkhauser Race Cars has gave me an opportunity to run his S10 rear suspension hop-up kit. So this hop-up kit essentially combines with a leaf spring of your choice, whether it be stock or aftermarket leaf spring. And in my case, I have a split monoleaf. This will come with traction bars, also with a front and rear spring plate perch however we want to say that, depends on the day. So my previous setup was a Calvert Racing traction bar kit, which it was fine. It did what it needed to do, but essentially on the front of the bar, which would be like the leaf spring mount side, I only had 2 holes of adjustment, a top hole and a bottom hole. So on this Funkhauser kit, I now have 3 holes of adjustment. So I have a top hole, middle hole, bottom hole. That's just on the front bar and the front heim joint. On the back heim joint, on the Calvert system, I didn't have any holes besides 1. So that mounting position couldn't ever be changed. On the Funkhauser race kit, the hop-up kit, I have 9 holes of adjustment. So we can change the bar to go up a lot, very little, or even change it to go down. However we want to do it. And then that kit also come with a shock relocation bracket. Instead of having a factory S10 shock go from the rear end right here to the back of the chassis like this at an angle, the shock relocation kit is a straight up and down a bar that goes across the frame that makes your shock go straight up and down. With that being done, that bottom shock hole on his spring plate also has, I believe it is 6 holes of adjustment. So you can move, I believe it is like 4 inches, the bottom shock mount. You know, if you have a longer shock, you can move it farther down. If you have a shorter shock like me, you can have it up, vice versa, whatever. So the bottom shock mounting point has 6 holes of adjustment, I believe. Might be 5, might be 7. Don't quote me on that. And then also on his kit, the spring plates, which your rear end bolts to, so his spring plate, you know, with all the holes of adjustment, your rear end sits on top of it. A U-bolt goes across your rear end and bolts it to the spring plate. On the bottom of his spring plate, he has a bar that connects to the bottom of the other spring plate. So you have now a bar going across from tire to tire, spring plate to spring plate on both sides. Well, on that plate, that bar, you have mounting tabs. For those mounting tabs, you have anti-roll bar mount links. And sorry, I got the hiccups for some reason. But now the truck also has a bolt-in anti-roll bar. So this Funkhauser kit is a great kit. He has a lot of other kits out as well for other cars. I know a lot of like the Chevy 2s he's got parts for. So you just have to go to the Funkhauser Race Cars website. The link is in the description below. Go get you some parts on that. Awesome products. This hop-up kit was pretty much direct bolt-in kit. I did have to cut one cross member out, a factory cross member, which he specifies that you have to do that. So other than that, needing a Sawzall for that, this and a drilling, I think it was 4 holes, this kit was pretty much a direct bolt-in. But also to add to that kit, I did get rear leaf spring sliders. So pretty much it's a plate that welds to the rear end where the rear shackle spring would go. And it mounts to where the shackle will go, but then it has a groove in it with a bearing. So your leaf spring on the rear can move forward and backwards freely, help with separation, help with planning the tire, all that stuff. So I got his whole kit on this truck. We have no testing on it, but with summer coming around, our local track Marion Thunder Valley Dragway is opening this coming Saturday, which by the time this video comes out, we would already be testing on this the suspension stuff. So we are just gonna go out and do a couple 60-foot hits, get this thing kind of leaving good, and go from there. But another big thing we did take about 150 pounds out of the truck. Another thing that I did is the truck has always had a cage in it. I've done a couple revisions of the cage to make it safer. But But on this revamp of the cage, I did a couple back bars. So essentially, I only had bars in the cab before. So if you look at it and you look at it from a distance, just think of the truck as an L. So that's the cage right there. That's what used to be in there. So when I would launch, the truck would go like this, and the truck would bend back here. So it U, twist, turn, all this stuff like that. My driver tire would come off the ground. My passenger side of the box would touch the ground, and all sorts of stuff, shimmy, shaking, twisting, bending, all sorts of stuff. So with that happening, I needed to do something to make from the back of the cab to the rear of the truck a little more stiffer. So with that being said, I'm not no fabricator, okay? I just wing it. I measure once, cut once, fill the gaps. This time I took my time and I really, really planned this out in my head, and I did the best I possibly could with the knowledge I have and the skill I have. And this is how the rear bars turn out. So essentially, these bars go down to the frame on both sides. They tie together right here. They tie together right here. And this goes right to where my door bar meets my cage and comes out along the truck. Same with this side. This side goes where my door bar goes down to the front of the cage, touches right there, and comes back down. So essentially, we are making the back of the truck stiffer, and we can already tell this thing is rock solid compared to what it used to be. Now, everything is pretty good. I can go with a tape measure and show you guys exactly how I did it, how it measured out, how I measured it out, whatnot, but you guys wouldn't believe me if I told you pretty much it's dead on the nuts for being square in the back of the truck. Now, the truck, how I said it, twists and turned, that this truck has done that for almost 9 years. So the chassis is not straight, and one way I know the chassis is not straight is when I tubed front end this truck, I didn't have a bar in the front of the frame, and when I cut the bar, the frame twisted. So I had to get longer A-arms on one side of the truck to compensate for the alignment issues of the frame twisting. So the truck's not square anyway. So I did everything on my car lift, which is right there. And being on the car lift on the locks is gonna be the squarest thing this truck has ever seen. So I did everything off of that. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty darn close to being perfect. Also, another thing that we did to the truck, this is probably for the back bars. As you guys can see here, there's normally this big old huge plate that goes from here to here, and it's just a plate, you know, that boxes this in kind of, so it goes straight down to there, and it goes all the way across the back window. Well, I removed that, so that's no longer in there, and it is a little more flimsy, but like I said, where my door bar meets is where that outside bar goes through. So see how well you guys can see it. So it's a little staggered here, but in between my harness bar and this bar, there's not much of a difference. So that's how that is, and then that's how it is on that side too. So pretty much the same on both sides. I did do this little strap. So we had an issue with the door opening too far, and when I was strapped in, I could never get the door shut. So now I can either reach up in here or kick my foot up here and get the door closer so I can shut it. That's just old seatbelt strap there, so that is what it is. But yeah, I used to have a lot of weight back here. Now we only have one weight bar back here. And Stuart come through, rewired the whole thing, did some changes on the wiring as well. And yeah, so the truck is pretty much ready to go. I do have a couple things to do, like put the parachute on it, and the track is going NHRA, so I can't have these little J hooks on these no more. So I don't know if I'm just gonna try buying a bolt that is this long and go that way on the battery, or try to weld like a tab, put these in and weld a tab so they don't open. They're not open, so they're closed. But yeah, a lot has changed on the truck. And I don't know if you guys remember last year, we got back with Kaiser. Kaiser's been helping us with this truck for a really, really long time. And we ended up getting some 10-inch wide wheels and 11-inch wide wheels. So we run our track tires on the 10 wides, which our track tire is a Mickey Thompson 28-10-5. And then our street tire is a Hoosier CO7, and we have those on the 11 wide. So we do have different wheels to go for different aspects, and it's one of those things where if the track is not really what it is or what it should be, we can always swap out to the CO7s, which are better for bad surface. Motor-wise, nothing's changed the motor. If you guys know the truck, you know the truck. If not, you can go watch a 1320 video where I had an interview and I told you what was in the truck. Still on a Holly, same front suspension, all that stuff like that. The kit is pretty cool, and I did get it powder coated in orange, so you can see the orange underneath there, which that kind of gives it that little neat look from a distance. And then, of course, you got all the orange in the back here, and it's all cool, along with my Viking shocks. It's all pretty well said and done. Another really big thing that we changed this year, I guess I kind of forgot about until just now. Hughes Performance, Hughes Converters has always been on my side, my team. Ever since the truck was even thought about, I had a Hughes converter before I even had the truck, really. So last year we were getting to a part where we were putting more power into it, and on shifts it only dropped like 200 to 250 RPMs. So I got with Kevin and Steve over at Hughes Performance and sent them the converter, and those guys went through all my data, sent them a bunch of data logs. We talked a couple times on the phone, and they changed the converter up. So I don't know how converters work. That's what they do, is like a magic potion thing. I don't think many people besides people who work with converters know what they actually do. So they did what they did, and hopefully this thing works a lot better. So essentially the truck, I think how they set it up is it's gonna spool the same. So I think it might have the same stator in it, and then they just changed some finagles to get some more RPM drop on the shift. I'm not entirely sure what they did, but yeah, this is what they call their Pro SSX converter. It's probably like their top of the line converter that they have. So that's in the truck. Stuart and I also did a brand new rear main seal in the truck. Also, I did have a Motion Raceworks LS diaper for the truck. A lot of the tracks that we go to nowadays are requiring those. So the diaper is on the truck too. The fitment on that, not the greatest. It is what it is, but the diaper is on the truck. If something would happen, hopefully that helps contain all the stuff. And then like I had a couple wiring things I did fastly and just ran it along other wires. And when Stuart got underneath there, he hated it. Stuart wires for a living. So when he seen that stuff, he was just shaking his head at me. And he's like, I don't know how the truck didn't burn down. So Stuart got to wiring all that stuff, got all that stuff worked out good. So essentially the truck is, a lot of the back wires to the back of the truck are not necessarily new, but they are fixed, reworked, reran, rerouted, looking better, tidied up, all in loom. So yeah, the truck has come a long ways in a short period of time. Like I said, I'm finishing burping the system, and we will be at the track this weekend, which this video will come out afterwards. Yeah, so that's my kind of rant of the video of the truck. Short and sweet. I'm gonna keep this video pretty minimal, and I think I've already been rambling for 18 minutes. And yeah, so enjoy a couple of these clips of the truck, slow-mo clips, and until next time, guys, make sure you head to Mr. Eazy S10 to grab your merch and stickers, all sorts of key tags. You guys gotta stay tuned because I'm working with Jacob at Elite Designs for a new t-shirt design, and I already know what it looks like, so it's hot, it's badass. It's probably the best design we have come up with yet, and it's gonna be a hot seller, so you guys gotta stay tuned. In the next couple videos, I'll be releasing that for pre-order, and when you get on the pre-order of that, it is what it is. So yeah, stay tuned, guys, because we got a lot of action coming up. Like I said, our local track's opening up this weekend. We got a race at the weekend after that, and then Cars and Coffee the weekend after that, and a bunch of other stuff. And also, in the meantime, when I haven't had any time, I've been going out doing some raccoon hunting, so I got a couple raccoon videos to come out, and hope you guys enjoy that stuff. If you guys don't like the hunting, I'm sorry, you don't have to watch it, but hunting is probably, besides racing, is probably the biggest part of my life besides my family. So yeah, hunting's a big part of me, and I always said that I would give up racing any day of the week to become a professional hunter and hunt for a living. So yeah, it is what it is. I love race cars. I'll die in this race car, and if I don't die in this race car is gonna be buried with me. But yeah, hit up Mr. Eazy S10 for your merch. Go check out my sponsors in the link description below, and I hope you all have a great day. The weather's turning around, and just remember, if your day's down, remember someone out there is rooting for you to win. And it doesn't matter if they're a stranger, someone you really know. There's someone rooting for you to win. So never fail, always learn, and get up stronger and come back again. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Peace.
I could walk 1,000 miles to see you smile. I won't, so take your bet off of me. I'm gonna take my vows tonight. Sometimes I wish I had left to get you off my back. Bad luck, then if we do, then if we don't, so why don't you kiss me inside of love, then till I'm blue in the face. We run until we can't know. I will do whatever it takes to put you back in your place, and don't make no mistake, I'll behave on one condition. Make me